Yes, of course, they have to show their responsibilities, and most important is the attitude, because we understand that during the 2 months training, we don't expect that you can catch up all knowledge, but the company always consider your attitude and your responsibilities. Attitude can show when you say something, you react, or you discuss with your supervisor. They all can show your attitude. And the responsibility can see from, for example, your punctuality, your hardworking, something like that. So this is 2 main points that we will consider. So if you would like to work with Isuzu, or I can say that any big firm, global or Japanese firm, I think they all consider 2 main points: responsibility and attitude.
Now, talking about getting a job, usually when each of our students go to do the internships, they will have the reports. When they actually apply for jobs, will those reports help them get a good jobs offer? Having a good report and take it away along with the resume, does it help?
Yes, for Isuzu, it helps a lot, because we will consider your past record, because the training program and maybe evaluation results, something can show how responsibility you have, something like that. So I believe for Isuzu myself, when I interview students, I also reading, screening from the resume and your past record also. Yes.
So having the report might be one thing. Getting a job, a lot of the students sometimes they ask for reference. Can I give your name as a reference to this certain company? Do the industry care about the reference from the academic institution more, or the training programs that they go to more?
Yes, in terms of Isuzu, we care the reference from the intern program more, because it's like the real work, the real job that you do, not just studying, sitting in the class and studying. And we understand that, of course, professors always support students, so they have to give you the good reference. But once you go out working in real, just say training in real, it's like the real work. Nobody care or will make you the fake reference. If you cannot prove yourself, no one can certify that you are good enough. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, talking about reference, a lot of students would come to me and ask for recommendation letter, probably the same as Dr. Parnit. And we already know that recommendation letter, I'm not sure if you mean just the reference, or does it include the recommendation letter from the supervisor?
Yes, recommendation also.
Recommendation letter from the supervisor. Now, in order to get a really good recommendation letter from the supervisor, maybe it's not just doing your job anymore. Maybe, I don't know, maybe having to get to know them personally too. I'm not sure. Would you like to share on how to get those letters from the supervisor?
Okay, normally, if you have to, let's say, if I have to give a reference or write a recommendation letters to any of my subordinates for their further, career opportunities, I won't write for those I never work with. So the first thing is that I will write for only those who work closely with me, and because I can't only telling the truth. I don't want to tell a bad things to those, some of the employees who's not really good enough. So I would say that if you want to get a good recommendations from a really influenced person, you get to work closely with them, you get to perform, you get to have a right attitude. And I strongly agree, totally agree with both of the speakers here, Dr. Panit and Kun Pornpimon, that the attitude always comes first. Because your knowledge is here, when you graduate. But the working environment is here. There's many research. I'm not sure whether you are aware of the Did You Know research, a very, very famous one. They said that for those who are studying in the engineering or ICT field, within the third year, your knowledge in the first year are already obsolete. So the knowledge is not about what you know. The knowledge is about you're capable to learn, and the capability to learn comes from the attitude to open and learn and accept everything. So that's the most important thing. So having a great integrity, a great attitude, gonna help you get a great recommendations.
Let me turn to the issues about using the computer, because you were mentioning FarmView as well. And I personally set up this one server for many companies so that we can actually screen everything. We can actually see what you type in your email. We can actually see what kind of program that you run, what website you visit. We can actually see what you post on those Facebook by using this server. Now, many of you may not know that. Many of you may not know that, but I'm letting you know right now. Now, the question is, even if they don't say something publicly on Facebook, they might be writing a personal email saying something bad about the company, saying that, hey, the training program here might not be as good because it's too hot. I get to work in the factory every day. I want to stay in the office, or something like that. What if the company find out? Again, I'm asking these difficult questions because many of the students here are too young to know that it's serious. Now, what would you do, if you're the boss, or if you're some personnel in the company that take care of this? Maybe anyone.
So may I?
Yes, please.
I experienced this myself, not myself, my colleague. I was working in a global consulting firms, and all the activities we do on the computer has been monitored 24/7 from the server hub in the United States. Even the thumb drive that we use with our notebook, they can actually get access to our handy drive and get all the information. So I will answer it legally. Legally, if you write a personal email and sending email to other persons using your company mail servers, if that information are threatening your organization, let's say it's the know-how, it's some confidential information, then legally you will be sued. Not only kicked out from the companies, you will be sued. But if you say something bad in your personal emails, but it's not show any intention of the serious harmful to the organizations, it's like a general complaining things, I would say that they won't take it serious. They won't take it serious, but better not doing that. If the person who look at your profile, of course that's going to be the IT person, but if the person who look at your profile have this information and post it up to your supervisors, it won't make any good for you. So just don't do that. If you want to use your personal email complaining things, do it at home. This much more secured.
Right. I was told that some company would not allow you to bring your own personal computer, and many company would be like that, I believe. And then one of the training company that I get to know of. By the way, you guys in the back there, you see sitting around the guy in red shirts. Okay, the red shirt, stand up, please. You will be humiliated. Now, first, this is not acceptable, not even here in July. I didn't want to point you out for not dressing properly first, but you kept talking to your friends around you. So you will need to gather your ID along with your friends around you after. Sit back down and be quiet, please. Sorry about this. Again, this one company is saying you should not bring any computer to the company. And when I hear something about the thumb drive, the company was really concerned that you would take away something. Sometimes you feel like, hey, I want to finish the work fast. I want to take this work back home so that I can finish the work, so I don't have to stay here in the company late. I don't have to do OT. But some company will take it very seriously. What would you do to those people, even though they might say, hey, I just want to finish the work fast. I want to get it done, so I take it back home.
Actually, in case of Isuzu, we are seriously concerned about this topic, because we don't allow any staff to use their personal computer or use their personal asset, because the company concerned about the confidential. And suppose you they know that you bring some data back home with a good intention, no matter. But firstly, you are against compliance, because once we employ you, you have to sign for acknowledgement of our compliance first. And then if you are against, you do anything against our compliance, it's like we have right to, let's say, kick you out from the company immediately without any warning letter, because we take this very serious. And even maybe you may think that this information is only general report. For example, in engineering field, maybe it's like the general data from the number of vehicles bringing in the service center this month, something like that, and you just try to make a graph or diagram to make a presentation for tomorrow meeting. Even it's very urgent case, you need to be at the office and finish it. You cannot bring it back home. This is very serious.
Right. Now, when we touch on that, the student, here, they need to do the report for the industrial training programs. So how do they balance on the information that they can put on the report, that they can take back home to include in the reports to submit to our university? How do they balance that? How do they manage?
You mean the information from the company side?
Right, because they need to work. Sometimes some of them will have to do the AutoCAD drawing, and sometimes they need to put that CAD drawing into the report as well.
Yes, in terms of student trainee, yes, we understand that you have to make the report to the professor, so you have to make it by your idea. You have to collect all information from the company, and then that we present to you. Then you catch up the concept, and then you make it by your words. You write it by your words, and then you have a right to do that, and it's okay, not against compliance. But you cannot copy our presentation or use our word that we give you, and then copy and put in your report. This is against our compliance.
Right. So this is something that I would like to have you concerned about this very seriously, because even though it's an internship program, there might be a certain information that would be strictly confidential that you might not be able to put on the report. Seriously, some of them you might not be able to put on your report. You have to always consult your supervisor for that. Okay. Now, I'm the only one doing the questions here, because there are many things that I want to share with you guys, but I'm running out. So I would like to start welcoming questions from the floor. We still have a few minutes left. Anyone? How about my two favorite students here? The one that survived? You guys want to throw in some question for me?